The more you try to keep me down and keep my head above the water, you can never hold me down. The more you try to block me out, that's where I kick the wall down. You can never hold me back. The more you try to put me out, the more I'll be blazing, it's too hot. The more you try to put me in the dirt, increase my work, the expert. You see the hunger in the eyes of a survivor.
Hey everybody, it's Casey with Pinecase. Tonight I'm hanging out with Calgary's homegirl, Jennifer Reeves. Lady.
What's up, Alicia?
Hi, darling. How are you tonight? Oh,
we're echoing.
are we?
Oh, we're echoing. Oh, okay. Let's just go with it, girl.
Yeah, if it's not going to bother you, it's not echoing on the record. So
okay, you're good now.
Sounds good. How's it going? What's going on in your world? What have you been up to? Like, how is your Thursday evening?
How's my Thursday evening? Just sitting here on 16th Ave and Center Street, downtown Calgary.
It's gorgeous. When you sent me a photo of the studio, my heart got a little green with envy. I was a little bit jealous, but it seems like a very suiting space for such a talent. Congratulations on ripping off the Band-Aid, getting up there and showing everybody what you're all about.
Absolutely.
How was it? How was your first show? How did it go?
Honestly, I just went out there and was like, fuck it. I ain't got nothing to lose. Let's do this. Like, comedy's always been my passion. And I had my friend Danny, whom you know,
absolutely,
with, kind of guide me. And I was just like, fuck it. Let's go.
That's amazing. Yeah, he's such a good guy. Well, and I think after you've gone through a few things, like us broads, we don't really joke around, right? Like it's time to pick up the old bootstraps and get on with stuff. Yeah.
My whole life is a joke.
Tell us a little bit about it. How did you get started in comedy? Like what brought you? I mean, I have a little bit of the backstory, but do you want to let everybody else know a little bit what's going on and why, what got you up there?
All right. Well, last year I went through a really rough time in my life. I had a manic episode. I was in the hospital for a few months. The hospital I work at, I have a day job working at the hospital here in Calgary. I hit my rock bottom. I also went through a separation, and that was hard for me. Like, we were talking about it a few months ago. It came up probably in time, that area. And after I went in the hospital, I actually had a manic episode. So therefore I was in the psych ward for a few days, which was extremely embarrassing at the hospital that you work at. And right. People had seen me. I didn't sleep for 9 days. I literally just blacked out. I didn't know what was going on. I messaged all my friends, crazy stuff, because I didn't sleep for 9 days. I was just very stressed out. And I had an episode at work where I work out with a coworker, and that just set me over the edge. And my husband at the time had to take me to the hospital, where I know all the security guards, so that was pretty embarrassing. I ended up kicking the door, which I ended up spraining my foot, and that's where someone had saw me when I went to go get an x-ray. And then I went through a depression because I had found out that I ended up going to a different hospital. I got transported, where they put me to sleep for 6 weeks on heavy medication, because a manic episode takes 6 weeks to heal. Not gonna get emotional.
Girl, how can you not get emotional? What a thing. Like, as soon as you said,
well, the hard part for me was returning to work thinking nobody knew anything, but someone had started a rumor that I was in the psych ward in the hospital that I work at on Unit 22, which I was not. So I went into a bad depression because people would just come up to me at work and be like, I heard this, I heard that. And I was just mortified. And then talking about going through a separation on top of it, I just went through a really bad depression. And what had happened was I would just sit at home after work. I'd go to work. I'd look like shit. I was off work for a while though, but when I did go back to work and everyone saying this rumor that I was on 22, which I was not, I also on top of it had put on a bunch of weight because my medications, I was on severe sleep medication. I was on Ativan. I was on a bunch of stuff to have my brain heal from my manic episode. And a lot of people don't understand that it takes 6 weeks to heal. And then the medication made me put on a bunch of weight. So I was pushing like 190 pounds and then going back to work with all this weight put on was horrible.
Right. And a lot of people don't understand that, like, just the weight alone is all of a sudden you feel uncomfortable in your skin. Like, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't even get my scrubs on.
Yeah.
I look like a tough sausage.
Oh, girl. And so just break it down for me a little bit, because who cares if you were like, so the rumor wasn't true, but like, why would it matter? What would it matter if you were like, isn't that the point, is to go and make sure that you're in a safe space, that you're getting the help that you need or the support that you need? I mean, the thought of feeling any sort of like shame I
literally had a few people that I had wrote some messages to. Apparently I even wrote my boss, which I just found out about about a month ago, maybe. And I had wrote a few messages to a few coworkers, like my friend Brian. I wasn't aware. I had no idea what I was saying, but I was writing stuff and pissed off a few people, which I had no idea until literally Brian had told me like 2 months ago now that I wrote some stuff, and I was writing other coworkers, and each week I was going to work and finding out new stuff. And then when I had put on all my weight, I just went through a really bad depression, and I'd go home and sit on my couch, and all I would do, honestly, was sit there and watch Matt Rife videos. And that is my idol, my celebrity crush.
Yeah,
girl. And all I did was watch his videos for 8 months straight. Like, you can ask me anything to do with him. I know every single clip, every single thing. Wow. And then when I heard, I was always down on myself because I have ADHD. And so I just never thought I was good enough for anything. And then I heard a clip of him saying he has ADHD. And that's like my idol, who I watched for 8 months straight, video after video after video after video. And honestly, that's what got me through my depression. And then when I heard he had ADHD, I was like, holy shit, like maybe I'm not dumb after all. Maybe I can put my gift into something positive and help all those people that have ADHD and who think they're not good enough and who never thought they were good enough. Sorry, I'm going to get emotional because I never thought I was good enough for anything. And then when I realized, I have ADHD, let's put this into a positive. And so like positive matter. So then I literally was just like, all that negative energy, I just woke up one day, and if it wasn't for my friends at work and like a strong support system, like I don't know where I would be. Like my best friend, Brian, literally is hilarious and funny and feed off each other. Yeah. And if it wasn't for him and a few of my friends at work, I don't know how I would have got through this. And that's what I would look forward to. And then I realized that, hey, like, what makes me happy is comedy. What is my passion is comedy. And then when I realized I had ADHD and I was like, I can do this, I'm going to do it. And I turned everything into a positive matter and was like, let's fucking do this.
I'm so impressed.
To do it, girl. Yeah, so I was like, let's
go. Yes, absolutely. I think it's amazing that, because we talk about ADHD. I mean, honestly, I don't want to say it's not a big deal, but it is more of a common conversation than it was when we were growing up. And these people that are coming out and saying that they have it, I don't even think they realize how many of us are like, wait a second, I identify with that. And if they can do it, I can do it. Like, it's literally changing the entertainment industry and the I don't want to say hobbies.
Well, all the top comedians have it, so like, let's go.
Yeah, a little ADHD, a little depression, a little sprinkle of this, a little sprinkle of that. Absolutely. I think that it makes for good comedy, and you always can feel the ones that have gone through some stuff, because The ones that haven't, it's really just kind of on the surface, you know?
Yeah.
So when was the moment that you were like, okay, I'm going to take this and roll it up and we're going to write a routine? Like, did it kind of come overnight, or was it like a long process to get there?
Honestly, like I just would sit there with my coworker at lunch and would just like sit at the lunch table and just would shoot the shit. And then like one day I was like, fuck, we're actually funny.
Yeah.
He doesn't think so, because I don't know. I asked him literally today, was like, let's do a skit together. But he's like, no. But like just sitting there at lunchtime, because like that's your therapy, is when you can feed off one of your friends' energy and you can both be funny. It's actually therapy for people that are going through depression, and that's what heals you. And that's what I realized. And it just kind of hit me one day a few months ago. And I was like, holy shit, like I can do this. Like it got me through my depression. And then I realized watching all the Matt Rife videos, I was like, oh my God, like this is what makes me happy. That's my passion. And then I realized, I was like, I got the balls to do this. Let's do it. Let's go.
So tell me, when you started building your routine, were you concerned about putting some of your kind of candid, intimate moments out there for the world? Like, were you just like, you know what, we're going to throw it out there and just like see what happens? Or was there any sort of like, I think I might hold that one kind of close to the chest, or...
Well, I am going through a separation right now. So I was a little worried about that, because I was like, oh, what can I say? What can I not say? Like, I want to respect my ex-husband. And so I was like, ooh, what can I say? What's too far, but what's funny? Like, I did that skit last week, but I'm not actually pregnant. Like, I'm not actually on Tinder. Like, it was all just a joke. Like, girl, I don't even know how to use Tinder. And like, I just signed I haven't even signed my separation papers. Like, it's very fresh. So the whole thing was just a joke, which I told my ex-husband. I was like, it's just a joke. Like, don't be mad at me.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Should we give a little taste for the people? I see lots of people in the comment section. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. It really does make a difference. We appreciate the support and the love, and just for showing Jennifer Reeves like a little.
Yes, girl, let's do it.
Okay, sounds good. We got this.
Oh yes. Oh my goodness. This is way too easy. Way too easy. Who's the lucky fellow tonight?
It's my birthday.
It's your birthday. Who's the lucky fellow? Claudia's. Oh, shit. Hey, no plan B pill and coat hanger. All right. What else am I got to say? So I found that being on Tinder, I found that I got a lot of dick pics. Do we send dick pics? That's the thing, right? So does that work? Raise your hand if you send dick pics. Girl, why do you send dick pics? What the fuck? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so who has a dick pic I'd like to see and be the judge of this? Who's got one? No, nobody wants to show it. Okay. Girl. A woman. You got pictures of women in there? Can I see? Oh, girl. Okay.
You know what is so interesting to me is that, okay, so as a female, I have 100% sent other people's dick pics around. And I'm sorry for anybody that's like,
God. Do you actually?
I have. Yeah, because like, if you don't want it to be out there for the world to know, like, don't be sending it. Like, it's super inappropriate to be sending it to somebody you don't know, which is funny to me that no one wanted to show you a picture.
Apparently that's the thing now. Like the young coworkers I work with are like, that you have a side piece, you go on Tinder, you date like 8 people. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, really? Like, I was just in a 14-year relationship. So this is all new to me. There was no Tinder back in the day. There was no Bumble and whatever all this stuff is. So It's all new to me, but I'm not actually on Tinder.
Everyone's just like creating a Tinder account right now, trying to find you out there. Wow.
Maybe in the future, maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
Well, maybe.
So are you just hanging out then? Like it is full on Shira, hear me roar. We're not worried about dudes. We're not worried about what other people are up to. You're really just like focused on what you need to be doing and this comedy career of yours.
Yeah, I'm pretty busy, so I don't really have time for people for dating because I'm working full time and I'm like trying to pursue this and make something of it. But I do have a few people that I talk to, and I do have a special person that I talk to, Christopher, who's helped me through a lot of this, who is actually the manager of that bar that I did the skit at. So he's gotten some phone calls of me crying all sad and depressed and having breakdowns because I also just lost my mom 2 months ago. And so I haven't posted anything about that. But I was in Ontario and had to bury her a few months ago. So like, honestly, I don't know how I've gotten through all this and did that skit after like going through a separation and with the year I went through and then losing my mom on top of it. And then I just lost one of my best friends from my childhood who he just lost like literally a week ago, the day before I did my skit. And he also just lost his daughter to a drug overdose. So like, honestly, girl, I don't know how I don't know how I did it.
You know, it is amazing to me. And I know I'm always like, to me, no, it's to the world. Like to think of what we've gone through right now when we were younger and our parents used to talk and they're like, it was like unusual to lose somebody. It was only like your grandparents, you know what I mean? Like it was never really a thing where we were just like, you know, people were dropping like flies. And when I have these conversations, everybody is like, oh, we're on the, you know, the second person that's close to me, and then 5 other people that were acquaintances, and then 27 other people that we knew through, you know, whichever. And it's like the climate right now is just unreal. And it really is a time to be there for each other and support each other. It sounds like you have a pretty good network of people in your life, which is amazing. Yeah.
Well, darn.
Yeah, you had a whole crew. I was like, oh my gosh, girl, you got like
Sam.
yes. Shout out to all the people. You know what? Because you can go to counseling, you can go to all these, you know, structured buildings. I do. Yeah, absolutely. And it's super important to do all that. We can practice like our breathing exercises and being mindful and stuff. But unless you have like some really, you know, like at least, you know, somebody solid that's going to answer the phone.
Which I have.
Yeah.
He knows who he is.
So tell me a little bit more about dealing with the stigma of going back to work and kind of, if you don't mind, but like going back to work and just being like, you know what, I'm just going to dust this shit off. Like,
oh girl, that was a hard pill for me to swallow. With everyone, that was a big part of my depression, with everyone at work thinking I was crazy and thinking I was in the psych ward, and like having people like I would walk down the hall and I would literally see people going like this, or that's the one. And it's like, and I was coming to work like 30 pounds heavier, looking like a bag of shit. And because I didn't care what I looked like. I didn't care what my hair looked like. I didn't care. I didn't put makeup on. I just felt very like, almost like I didn't exist. And so I just didn't care. And like, honestly, I remember sitting at in my therapist's office, and she was like, you need to just keep yourself busy and you need to do this for your daughter. And because like I have an 8-year-old daughter named River. And if it wasn't for her, I honestly don't think I could have got through everything, but I just was like, I need to do this for my daughter and just focus. And I have a good friend group who I basically would follow my friend Brian around because he's only me feel happy because he's funny. And that's what like healed me. And I was like, and I told him that like 2 months ago, I was like, not to sound creepy, but like, I follow you from like a lost puppy.
I'm just kind of obsessed.
Yeah, he has a wife. She hates me, but rightfully so. I messaged him with some crazy stuff, but like all respect to her. Nothing but respect for her. Shout out Anna.
Man, that's a good friend, because to go through some of that stuff and to put them in that situation, like she might not, be your best friend, but she's obviously a very tolerant person, like we don't need to get into that, but like
Yeah, no.
he obviously keeps good people around, he obviously keeps
and so I just surrounded myself with people that I was happy around, because like for a while I was miserable. Like I didn't want to be around anyone. I didn't want to talk to anyone. And like I was really depressed with my girlfriends. Like I have about 6 friends at work that are girls, and we all work different shifts. And yeah, I had a good support system, and I also had my ex-husband's mother work with me. So she was with me every day. So I annoyed the shit out of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, you just got to get through it. Right. And so if it wasn't for my daughter, I don't think I would have been able to get through it. And just
kids do that though for us, and they bring routine and structure. Like I used to hate hearing people like, I did it for my kids. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Do it for you. And until I was in a situation and I was like, it is for them. And it is like it's the unconditional love, and it's all the things that we don't do for ourselves. Right. It's like, it's them seeing us looking beautiful when we don't feel beautiful, and then looking at us like we're useful when we don't feel useful. And it's so much more than just having a child or doing it for them. It's all the little things that they bring. Yeah. Unconditional.
Which is just crazy, because like never in a million years did I think it would happen to me. Like that's the first time I've ever had mental health issues, and then going through depression and going through everything. Like I never, ever in my life experienced anything like it. So when I did go through my manic episode, I was just like, what's happening? Like I legit thought I was crazy. But when you don't sleep for 9 days, like, yeah, your brain just...
Yeah, people don't understand that part of it. A lot of, not to associate it with drugs, but a lot of the time when people are having like those episodes, it's actually not the substances, but it's like the lack of nutrients and sleep, and lack of, the lack of water, like dehydration. It does amazing things for our body. And it puts us in situations that we never thought we would be in. And that's kind of why, when you were telling the story, I'm like, wait, you were married for 15 years. You have this beautiful daughter, like you have all the foundation, a career, you have all the foundation to like, these things don't happen to people like that. Like these things don't, these days don't come. Like, of course, we do lose people. And it is unfortunate. And I can't even begin to express my condolences towards your mom. But, we can get through things like loss when we have all these other structures in place. It sounds like you were just kind of living your life, and then all of a sudden it just got pulled from underneath you.
Came out of nowhere.
And
then out of nowhere, I was just going through some stress, going through a tough time, and then had an incident at work with a coworker that set me over the edge, and I just couldn't sleep, because like with having ADHD, when you have something on your mind, that's all you think about. So then your mind just takes off, and that's all you think about. And then I didn't sleep for 9 days, and I just went, whoo, like I literally just went nuts.
Yeah. And we were talking
I didn't even know what a manic episode was until last January. I didn't even know that it was a thing. So.
Well, and the only time it's talked about really is like with bipolar. People don't really talk about it in the way that like it can just happen from from like basically a stressor or a PTSD trigger or anything like that, right? Like the only time I ever really heard about it was like, oh, when people are manic and they have these like emotional swings or whatever. I'm like, no, that's not it, man. You're looking, because you're talking like 6 weeks is a long time. I mean, it's a short period of time to let your mind heal when you think of it like that. But when like 6 weeks, that's a long time to be away from your home, away from your bed, like all of those.
And not seeing my daughter. Yeah. But the thing is like, you're basically asleep for that full time. And like, I was on the heaviest sleeping pill. So I didn't even know what was going on. I was just like eating and sleeping. And then because I was just eating and sleeping, I was putting on weight. And you didn't like, it's like the feeling when you don't sleep, like when you go out clubbing and you're like, hey, I got to work off 2 hours of sleep and you can barely keep your eyes open. That's how I felt for a good 3 weeks. And then I would just go to sleep, and then I would wake up and I would eat, and then I'd go to sleep. But I'm grateful that I was in a different hospital so that nobody would see me, but I still had everyone think I was in a psych ward, which I was not. And that's the part that made me depressed, because working in a hospital with a lot of people and everyone thinking that, it's embarrassing. And so like I would go in the bathroom and cry because I was like, everyone thinks I'm crazy. Everyone thinks I'm like nuts. And so when I pursued comedy, I actually applied for America's Got Talent. I didn't tell anybody because I was like, everybody thinks I'm crazy. Like, so I didn't say anything. I didn't tell anyone. The only person that knew was Brian. I was like, guess what I'm going to do? But I'm not going to tell anyone because everyone thinks I'm nuts, which
that's what
I did.
Hold on, back to straight. Like in the middle, this is amazing to me, because if you had said that, people would have been so dismissive. Like, sure. Good luck with all of that. Yeah. Right. But how did it turn out?
I'm not allowed to say.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Well, we won't talk about that part, but obviously there's a reason why you're still pursuing.
Good. It went good is all I'm going to say, because I'm not allowed to say anything else. Right, but absolutely. I was like, I practiced the routine, and it's funny because you have to audition, you have to make a skit for 6 minutes. And I actually did my audition tape in my mom's hometown the day after I buried her. And something in me was just like, do your tape. But I had practiced it and I knew what I was going to do. I'm not allowed to say the topic, what it was, but I just was in Ontario and I was like, I'm going to audition and I'm going to do it right now. And my niece Alexis recorded it and I sent it in, and surprise, I do comedy now.
Yes. I love this.
Okay, why not? Because it's like, what do you have to lose? Like, I had the worst year of my life. Yeah. What the fuck do I have to lose? Nothing. Turn that negative energy into positive energy and fucking go after what you have. Oh, I got goosebumps. Go after what you're passionate about. Yeah. Is what I say. Like, if you want to do something, fucking do it.
Right? Jennifer, girl, you are sitting there in a goddamn power suit, looking like $1 million with the whole of Calgary behind you. Your lighting is on point. You got a whole group of people that are there supporting you. Like, I'm not really worried about what anybody was up to, before. I'm sure that it was a hell of a year, but this looks like
the worst year of my life. Year of my life.
But you look fucking great.
Thanks,
you look
girl.
great. You're more than welcome.
You look hot too.
Oh, thank you, darling. I'm just sitting here in absolute amazement. I'm like, this is to have, for this to be a jump off. And it's not even because you've been doing this for like a hot second, but just to stay
literally like overnight.
Yeah. What a great thing. I think you're such an inspiration.
Everything just like, honestly, like, it's so weird. Like, the guy that is actually filming this,
right?
Vern, I literally, like, everything is just falling into my lap. Vern, come up here. So this is Vern.
Hi, darling. Oh, yeah.
Literally, just randomly.
Oh my gosh.
Hi.
Literally fell in my lap. My sister woke me up one night at 2 a.m. and was like, oh, I'm sitting here, blah, 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 with a certain person. I won't name his name. And then I was like, as a joke, I was like, she was working at a bar. And as a joke, I was like, hey, put Chris on the phone. Like, that's like an old manager that I've known for a long time. Right. 2 a.m, I'm like, hey, put me on your stage. Like, just totally joking. And that's the stage I was on last week. So it's just very random, kind of just fell in my lap and just.
It's really the art of asking, isn't it? It's the art of asking. It's like
manifesting. It manifested and it will come true.
Exactly. And people people are like, oh, I don't, that's crazy. That's great. No, it's not. And it's not about believing it. It's like putting it up there, getting through the process, absolutely letting the pieces come together, the people come together, like to sit in the audience, which is what I feel like I'm doing right now, is it's so awesome. Like you're chilling up there, you got your cameraman, you're hanging out. Can you
shout out to Sam?
Yeah, right.
Love this so much.
They're right here. And the Ash's girlfriend who did my makeup.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I think it is I think it's a great example for a lot of people, especially people in the comments that are like, we hear I don't want to say we hear the same thing, but we hear a lot of people, it's hard for people to, find the place to like pick up and do the next step, where do I pick up? Where do I start? Where do we come together? How do I begin this journey? And
well, with my journey, I had Danny, who you had interviewed a few weeks ago, who I had saw your podcast on, and I was like, girl. But that's who helped me get started, because I went to high school with him. Shout out Danny.
He's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, such a sweetheart. I blow up his phone every day.
He is still, like, when I go to edit, he is still some of my favorite audio. Like, I get caught up, like 30 seconds turns into like 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be like, making this into reels or whatever. But the way that he communicates, from like a global aspect down to one single person just absolutely amazes me. So to have that in your pocket all the time, like what?
Yeah, I went to high school with him. He was actually a basketball player, and I was like a little cheerleader. And yeah, it's just very like very random, like very like what's happening.
Yeah, but that's when you got to just go with it, right? When things are happening and you're just like, yeah, we're just going to keep the momentum going. We're going to let things fall into place. Like when I finally convinced Danny to come on, because a lot of people were requesting him as a guest, and I shouldn't say it took a lot of coaching, but it did take a few times or whatever. So much has come from that. Well, which forever, I mean, like again, sometimes it's like just finding the spot, like where do we start? Where do we put this in the calendar? Like what is this going to look like? And what does this feel like? Yeah.
But no, he's the one that guided me and was like, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And I took all his advice, and here I am.
Oh, congratulations. Why don't we take another look at like what was going on the stage that night? I think, I'm just going to go ahead and roll the clip.
Nice. What's up, Edmonton? Yes. Okay, so I'm Jennifer Reeves, and here we go. We are going to talk about online dating. Oh, you better fucking believe it. Okay, so here goes. Okay.
You got this. Oh my god. Online dating.
First experience. Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, so I went on Tinder. Oh, yes. So I'm recently separated, so I was like, okay, I'm going to try this Tinder thing out. Didn't go so well. Don't get drunk and bone. And literally...
Don't get drunk and bone!
You guys know this person. It's going to embarrass him, but that's okay. I got kicked out of Walmart because I got pregnant. Asked for a Plan B pill and coat hanger. Don't get pregnant, Chris! Oh, what do we have here? McDavid! Yes, bitch, yes! Girl, who did you sleep with to get this?
Yeah, probably a doctor.
You fucked your doctor? Oh, fuck! Girl. How was he?
Who said it was a he?
Oh, fuck! Girl! Should I put this on? Yeah, I should. Okay. Put this on 1,000%.
1,000%.
Okay.
Puck's deep, baby.
All right. All right, who's a fan of Connor McDavid? No? Yes? No? Okay.
That's the way you're looking at right now.
All right, so I recently was talking to a coworker at work, Apparently there's this thing called a side piece. You guys know what that is? Guessing? You know what that is? She's like, girl, I know what a side piece is. So here's the question. Who wants to be my side piece? Well, show me your titties. Oh my God. Oh.
Did you actually get Mardi Gras? Like you went straight Mardi Gras. I love that. That's wild.
Yeah, she did. She was like, I was like, oh my goodness. No, she did. It was her birthday that night, and she showed up at 7:00 right when the bar opened. She was like the first limo that showed up. I actually did a few shots with her, I'm not gonna lie. And so I knew she was like tipsy. Did I think she would show me her boobs? No. And so that was real. I did not expect that. Power of the microphone.
Oh, that's crazy. How is it going in and doing like a little bit of improv at the same time? Because I mean, you can only really, I mean, this is maybe a little bit behind the scenes, but just like, I'm kind of curious. Is it a bit daunting? Because obviously you have, I mean, you know, we do a little bit of prep work or whatever.
Honestly,
but like,
the only thing that was on my mind was get off the stage quick, don't take too long. Because when I was talking, I had no idea how long I was up there for. So that was the only thing on my mind was don't take too long, get off the stage.
right. Did you guys have like a set time of like what you were shooting for?
I was shooting for 10 minutes, but I didn't know, because when you're talking, you're not thinking about it. And I with ADHD, you can't do two things at once. So I was like, oh shit, was I up here for a long time? Like, oh crap. So that was the only thing on my mind.
Well, 10 minutes can feel like a death sentence, or it can go by like no big deal.
Yeah, but for my first time, I was like, it was fun. I freestyled most of that. The only part that was planned was the jersey.
That's, to be honest, I don't know why you haven't been doing comedy your whole life. You seem comfortable up there. It looks like,
oh, absolutely.
like we could have got away with not saying that was your first night, because honestly, it looks just like a laugh shop skit, like clip.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. So tell me a little bit, like, so what does the day-to-day look like when you're, and you don't have to get like too involved with, I mean, if you don't want to tell us about like what you eat for breakfast, that's totally fine. But what is it
I'll
look
tell
like?
you anything you want to know.
I'm just curious, like, what does your prep look like going into it? Like, is there like, I need like 6-7 hours to kind of like get ready? Or is it like, hey, we're just going to throw this together and like not?
Oh no, I did that in like 20 minutes.
What?
Yeah. I was like, I was actually talking to a coworker at work. I'm not going to say his name, but it rhymes with Baxin.
Okay.
And he was telling me about online dating, and I was like, shit, that would be a funny topic. I was like, let's go. And so I just kind of knew what I was going to say, but I just, like I wrote that and like I knew what I was going to do, but I didn't spend hours on it. I freestyled most of that.
That's wild. And so what's your goal with this? Like, what's the trajectory with the comedy thing? Because Canada has a wicked legacy of comedians. Like, and Danny and I talked about this a little bit when he was on the show. Like, there really is a massive, like, historical presence when it comes to comedy. Where do you see yourself in all this?
Well, my goal is to eventually get signed with Live Nation.
Yeah.
My goal is to appear on a certain show. I don't know what I can and can't say, but eventually I would like to get signed with Live Nation and meet Matt Rife one day, because that's my idol. So yeah.
What are you going to tell him when you see him? We're going to be like, I had a total meltdown. I love you so much.
Marry me?
Yeah.
Please. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Honestly, I would tell him that I beat my depression, and what helped me get through it was watching his stuff and watching his clips and watching how funny he was. And that's what like distracted me from my depression. And that's where all this began. And then I would say, marry me.
Yeah.
No, but like, honestly, I would like to do that for other people because that's what helped me get through my darkest times in life. And that's what I would like to do for other people. And if I can motivate anybody to be positive and follow their dreams, and if I can just help anyone through a dark time or through depression, that would be amazing. Because like I said, I've never experienced this. I've never experienced anything like it. And so if I can do that for anybody, like what he did for me, that would just be amazing.
Yeah. I think that's totally fair. What are the things that other than comedy, like, is there some things that stand out to you that really did get you from like day to day? I mean, obviously comedy is a big one, but was there like, and we talked about your daughter, but like, was there anything that you can kind of hang your hat on where you were like, I really focused on like how much water I took, or it took how much water you took?
I really tried to focus on my health because I had gotten so big, and I found that I literally couldn't even fit into my scrubs. Like I told my boss, Irma, I was like, girl, like I need bigger scrubs. Like I can't fit into these. And she thought I was joking. And I was like, no, I can't fit into my scrubs. Like I'm plumpy. And actually she's probably watching. Shout out Irma.
Hey, Irma.
Hey, girl.
Hey. Honestly, shout out to everybody in the comment section. Sorry to cut you off, darling.
How many comments do we got? Let's answer
seriously. Like, let's throw some up here. Hold on. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't know where to be.
Calico says not all heroes wear capes, and I think that's probably really true. A lot of, that's really sweet. She's totally right though. Like a lot of people, like you're already out here making a difference. You've taken the time to tell your story, which is super massive. And when we talked about,
because you just don't know what people are going through. Like you have no idea, and so that's the thing. It's like, be nice to everybody, try to be happy, because deep down, like you don't know what someone's going through. You don't know that they're crying at work every day. You don't know that they're struggling to get through each day. Like you don't know behind closed doors. Like I was literally crying like at work, and I would go in the change room and I would like sit there and cry because it was tough. And like, it's a real thing. And I never went through anything until this past year. Like there was many times I would like cry or like be upset with my friends at work, or like have breakdowns. Like I had many breakdowns, even right now, like losing my mom, going through a separation. And I didn't just lose my mom, I lost her brother as well. So my uncle and mom, and like, it's just dark. Like I had to identify her body that was a month and a half old. Like it was a lot to take in. So yeah, you just don't know what people are going through. So just be positive and be happy. And like, you just don't know what people are going through.
Yeah. Felice says, I'm surprised on how much I relate to this. Yeah.
Aw, what's his name? Felice. Hi, Felice.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very handsome.
He is very handsome. Yeah, he's actually been in the comments quite a bit. Darling, we see you and we hear you. And like I said, like you've already started, your footprints already, you've already put your foot down. We see your print. It's clear. Like you can talk about Matt, but you have people now here talking about you, and to take the time to share your story and to be so candid is super valuable. And I don't take it for granted at all. I really do appreciate it. Yeah.
Ooh, let's answer some more questions. This is
there's not a whole lot for questions. A lot of people are just like up in there. Like, I was looking.
Write down a question. Let's answer some.
Let's see. Yeah, no, like Jordan's up in here. He's like, oh my God, please come with a real laugh mask. I'm like, I mean, great. I'm glad you guys are all laughing at there, but honestly, throw some questions in there. Calico's back in there. Chris is in there. There we go. Hey.
That's Christopher. That's who gets the phone calls.
Is it? Yeah, you guys. Oh, thank you, darling. That's really sweet.
That's his dog Shadow. Very cute. But no, that's who has been my rock through this whole experience. The last few weeks, nothing but respect for him and mad love for him. He knows that. I've had a few breakdowns.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Oh, pardon me, Corey. Oh, hey, yeah. Hey, Corey, what is the main thing you do to cope? That's a great
Me?
question. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a great question. You know what?
Literally, I call Chris, the one that we just answered his question. And I'm like, I'm feeling sad.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, exactly. And nothing that you do to cope is the wrong answer. And that's what's wild about it. Like, for a while, I was like, I played, screaming death metal and, scream at the wall because that's what was making me feel good. And then it come to find out that's actually what like releases, dopamine and serotonin and all these like good hormones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I went through like a phase where I was like really fixated on like, how many glasses of water I drank that day, or like, how many meals, following the national food guide or whatever. And it was just like something else to focus on other than the issue at hand. So I don't think that there's like a wrong answer to how we cope, right? As long as it's not.
I talk to Danny a lot too. So
yeah.
I blow up his phone a lot. Not gonna lie, I'll admit it. So.
Yeah, no, it's good. And also, if you guys don't have a Danny in your life, there's always the warm
Find
line
him on my Facebook and add him. He's gonna be like, oh my God, Jen, stop it.
There is also hashtag 988 for a crisis line. And then there's also the warm line, which is 250-289-3948. You guys are more than welcome to use both of those. Obviously, the hashtag 988 is a national crisis line that's open 24 hours a day. And
I
is
just
staffed
think,
by
like,
people.
Talk to your friends and have a good support system. Like, really talk to your friends. And that's what I've learned through all this, because like I've never gone through a separation and it's been tough. And so I talk to Brian at work.
Yeah.
Every lunch. I see you, Shelly. I see you, girl. And just talking to your close friends and just like actually talk and share your feelings and get emotional. Like, I cry all the time. I cry to my friends. Like, I think I probably did I cry to Brian today? Probably. I can't remember. I know I did yesterday. Like, lately I've just noticed that like I'm just a crier, and I'm like, I'm okay with it.
Wear your heart on your sleeve. It's true though. Just like put it out there and get through it. It's like the quickest way, to the end is through, right? Like, the longer you hold on to it and like stifle all that down. And we talk about it a lot on the show, like, just say the things, do the things. And you know what I mean? Because there isn't a wrong thing to do. I mean, like, do the ugly thing, like cry, make your friends uncomfortable, call them all the time. Like, DJ Allgood was like, I do pew, pew, pew. I just like hit up everybody in my, when I think of them, I immediately send them a message. And I'm like, that's so smart. Like, why do we hesitate so much? Like, there's all these things that are put into place to like safeguard what things look like. But at the same time, like, there's a reason why you were friends in the first place, or why, it's your family member. So who cares? Like, just do the things, and like, it doesn't matter what it looks like. We have another question for you, which what is the breaking point that made you want to change? I think this one kind of changed for you. It sounds like a little bit that like life kind of happened and then you needed to problem solve.
Like what made me go from trying to be negative to positive? Mm-hmm. Is that what Leslie or Foley? What does that say? I can't see that. I don't have my glasses on.
Felice Levea. And I, you know what? If I butcher that, we're just gonna call him Mix. And I really know his real name.
Sorry, you're cute. I'm sorry. I think I just had enough one day, and I just woke up one day and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I don't want to be depressed. Like, I have a daughter, like I was still married at the time, and things got, we weren't getting along, and just, being together for so long, we were like, what's happening? And like, what's going on? And you just get in this rut, and you're just like, okay, I need to figure something out. And I just woke up one day and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm not going to be depressed. Like, I'm not a depressed person. Like, if you knew me, you would be like, this girl's not depressed. Like, how's this girl got depression?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. But I just woke up one day and was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And I'm going to just be happy because I am normally a happy person. But this year was just an off year and I wasn't myself because I'm normally very positive, normally very loud and very high energy. And
Yeah.
I just was like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
You get to that point where you're like, nope,
Time for a change. So. Yeah. Calico says DJ Lion is watching. Say hi. He relates with you, Jennifer Reeves. Shout out to DJ Lion.
Ooh, who is that?
This young man. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Spin me a set.
Yeah, no, he is 11 years old. And yes.
Spin me something.
Yes. He is amazing. We will absolutely link up all of his stuff in the comment section. He's actually our bursary recipient, and I'm going to try not to get emotional right now, and I'm going to try and get through this without completely losing it. But when we started this company...
Oh, girl, just cry. Just do it.
When we started this company, it was originally for people that we have lost, and that has never changed. There is too many out there. There's one specifically who is he holds the title for our bursary, and our bursary is for youth who are struggling with mental health to bring them musical instruments or music lessons or dance lessons and things like that. And it's actually a big night for Corey Harris, who had passed away. His nephew, who he never met, is actually in the comments. And then to have DJ Lion come through and say hi is a big deal because he was our bursary recipient. So,
aww.
Yeah.
Well, hello, DJ Lion. Can we see a photo?
Oh gosh. I don't know, Mama. You better see. She can probably send me one real quick. I don't know if I have one queued up. Actually, I usually let's see what we got. I don't have one queued up.
11 years old. That's awesome.
And he's been doing it for like a while, which is crazy. When he came out, when we put out the applications, or we put out like the ad, I guess, essentially, like we went through like pardon me, I can't even think right now. When we went through Tree Scholar, we had like 400 and something applications come through for this bursary originally.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yeah. And when he was like, this is what I'm really passionate about. This is what I want to do. And I was like, that's a really big dream for someone so young. And then I went over and kind of creeped some of his social media stuff, and I was absolutely blown away. He was already playing festivals. He had like 3 festivals coming up in the summer. Yeah, he was like ready to do an interview like yesterday. He like sent me all of his information, his bio. He actually has his own like spot now in my StreamYard, in my like on this program, because I just let him run wild with it. But yeah, he gets up there. He has no problem like showing the people what's up. He's so comfortable.
And where's he based out of?
Vancouver Island.
Oh, that's where I'm from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where I'm from. Where?
Well, I don't want to give away his like actual location just because people are totally weird on the internet. But I would say like it is central. It's definitely central. Really beautiful location. It's gorgeous. Whereabouts are you from?
Me and Danny are from Courtney, BC, and we went to Vanier Secondary.
Oh, there is a lot of Timberline up in like from Campbell River in the comment section right now, just so you know.
Well, let's hear some comments.
Oh gosh.
But no, have him follow me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Calico's in there too. She's got everybody's information up in there, so she'll make sure that everybody sees it. But yeah. Oh, Felice is like, oh, here we go. Mike is fine. I'm sorry, darling. You know what?
It's Simon. Name out. Mike is fine. What?
It's Samoan.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. He was actually a guest on the show, and just an absolute survivor. Yeah. If you guys haven't gone and checked out that, we'll throw the link in the comments as well. That interview was wild. It took us on. I wasn't really expecting it because he was just like, hey, I have like a story to tell. And I'm like, okay, yeah, for sure. Let's hear it. And then he came out and I was like, holy. And so I'm always so surprised by everybody that comes and sits and joins me, because honestly, we are on like our 75th episode. Some of them are, you know, they were kind of like done at the hospital when I was like pregnant. Some of them were, you know, in the car, like weren't all as great as they are now. But we've just had such a plethora of guests and stories and artists and professionals. And it's just been an absolute honor to be sitting over here. So I really am grateful for everybody that is hanging out and sitting over there where you are. What made you want to do this show? Was it, what made you want to come and hang out with us over here at Pinecase?
I saw you on Danny's page because I stalked him. And I was like, what's this he's doing? And I was like, I want to do it. And then I remember him talking about mental health. And I was like, yeah. And that's why, here I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, girl, I got a lot to say.
Yeah, well, and before we wrap this up, like, what else do you want to let the people know? Like, what else is there anything else that we haven't covered? I don't want to like leave everybody with like blue balls wanting more, but is there anything else that the people need to know before we sign off on this beautiful interview?
Oh, is there anything anybody wants to know?
Randall, hold on. I'm going to throw this up 1 second.
Randall!
In a world of people increasingly isolating from one another, it is good to see the internet being used as a catalyst to encourage communication with each other. When it can so often be a vehicle to salute, am I saying that right? Salute ourselves into a routine of solitude. Yeah, embrace this opportunity to remember that nobody is alone in their struggle. Shout out Randall. Absolutely, darling.
So I work with Randall at the hospital. Shout out to Randall.
Yeah, that's amazing. And he's totally right. You know what? Thank you for making mention of that. It is often used for a place of just absolute debauchery for the most part. But I think that there is this secret little niche corner that, people are carving out really well these days. I've seen a lot of conversations and the tough stuff or the uncomfortable stuff kind of come up, which is really great, but it wouldn't happen without everybody being so candid. So Mike says, can we be friends? LOL. Mike is like, can we be friends?
Picture, pop it up.
No, it's like, it's police again. Here. There we go.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Where do you live?
But isn't that
like breakfast? Bird, let's go to Denny's.
Oh my gosh. Remember the days of Denny's and sunglasses? I feel like that was always like the walk up.
That's where I met Vern. I love Denny's. I love a good breakfast. I actually live a block away from one. So yeah, let's do it.
Oh yes. I'm here for the eggs Benny all day long. Amazing. But yeah, what else is going on? Is there any shows that are coming up that we should let the people know, or is everything kind of sitting burning on the back burner at the moment? What's going, or I should say back burner. That's not what I mean. That's
I'm working on a couple things. I took like the last bit off just dealing with, I wanted to focus on my mental health right now because the main triggers for going manic is losing a loved one, which I've lost 2, actually 3, separation and moving. So I just moved and going through separation and lost a couple family members. So I've just been like, okay, I need to focus on my mental health because I wasn't sleeping throughout the night. And that's the main thing of going manic is losing sleep. So I've just been honestly focusing on trying to just sleep throughout the night, which I have been in the last 2 weeks, but I wasn't up until 2 weeks ago. And so that's my main priority right now. And then in a few weeks, like probably starting in a few days, like in a week, then I'm going to put myself out there and be like, okay, what can I do?
Girl, you checked like 5 out of 4 boxes. I was like, how do you hit, like, you're like, okay, I got this one and this one and this one. Yeah. Focusing on sleep sounds like a really great idea. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds amazing. If you do have a show coming up, and we've talked about this a lot, like you were just in Edmonton, it sounds like you're going to be around. We'll definitely make sure that everybody knows what's going on. We'll always like link your stuff in our stories so that we can keep everybody posted. But we'll also put your socials up there because everyone needs to go and check you out and support you. You got a YouTube page that's fresh and kind of hot off the press.
I just started that yesterday.
Yeah. So
shout out to Vern.
Yeah, you got a wicked crew over there. So if you guys haven't already, head over there and go give it a like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Throw the notification bell on too, honestly.
I'm even on TikTok. I just started that yesterday too.
It won't take long, girl. It won't take long. That's for sure. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, Jennifer. It's been such a pleasure. I appreciate you. Yeah. I'm like thinking back, I'm like, okay, listen, I don't even know, because the survivor in you is it should be the standard. And it's just like a great example of what humans can do. So keep doing what you're doing. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Just a quick run back. You guys go and check her out on YouTube. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell on hers. I mean, you can do it for us too. We're over here chilling, but make sure you go and support her. Jennifer Reeves, anything coming up, we'll let you guys know. Thank you for hanging out in the comment section.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely. And make sure you check out your friends, check in on everybody. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Perfect. Thanks, Kalisha.
Bye.
Blood, my pride washed down with some saliva. Reinvented my whole life, mental MacGyver. One door shut, another open up wider. Listen, battle drums in the distance, moving with enough force like army tank pistons. Pray for the strength of Jah to fight resistance. Fight mode, shields up, moving with resilience.
The strength of 1,000 lion and the strength of 1,000 giant. Please stay strong. Please stay strong. With the strength of 1,000 elephant and the strength of 1,000 tiger, we stay strong. We stay strong. We stay strong.
The further you take my vice away, I'ma run to it, refuse to hear my voice. Speak loud when I spit it, but you don't get it. You just wanna be a side critic. See somebody else showing hate in the side of the road with it. Now how would you feel standing on the sideline and watch the color of a nation deteriorate over time? The flag real high, but compassion 6 feet below. Now you're searching for that justice that decided to never show. Deny my place and back with a trace. Keep up the pace, tight lace, game face. Get back in the race. Whatever they did could never be undone. Every dark night ends with the rising of the sun. Squandered every wealth that's built from the mud. Squandered every wealth that's built from the blood. Squandered every wealth that's built in chains. Stolen from the ancestors, running through my veins.
With the strength of 1,000 lion and the strength of 1,000 giant. Please stay strong. Please stay strong. With the strength of 1,000 elephant and the strength of 1,000 tiger, we stay strong. We stay strong. We stay strong.
I can see, run to the light at the end of the tunnel winner.
We stay strong.
I can't breathe, we're gonna get oxygen without the justice system.
We stay strong.
And I know, gotta keep my head together.
We stay strong.
Don't doubt me, please don't doubt me.
We stay strong.
Tell me how can we be strong if we still shooting? Tell me how can we be strong if we still looting? Tell me how can we be strong if we still hating? Please tell me now, please tell me now. Tell me how can we be strong if we're still divided? Tell me how can we be strong with egos inflated? Tell me how can we be strong with so much hunger? Please tell me now. Please tell me now.
The strength of 1,000 lion and the strength of 1,000 giant. Please stay strong. Please stay strong. With the strength of 1,000 elephant and the strength of 1,000 tiger, we stay strong. stay strong. We stay strong.
The more you try to keep me down and keep my head above the water, you can never